I'm moving.
Stomach stuff.
Have you ever been super excited for something to happen, and then when it does happen, you're kind of filled with dread because you think, oh my god, everything's going to change? Well, for some reason, that's been me lately with the idea of moving. 2 years ago, I moved to California and I was lost. Maybe the better combination of words would be severely depressed. I was working, living, and playing a role that I never really wanted, but for some reason, I was determined to fit the part. Yeah. Help me. So when I decided to move to California, I was really looking for relief from a life that felt devoid of any meaning. Really lofty goal to have in mind. A lot on the line there. But the reality is that I had no idea what moving across the country would look like for me. My brother helped me build out my SUV as a place to live. I subleased my apartment, and soon I found myself driving out to California with no job, no apartment, and only a loose idea of a plan. But the craziness didn't stop there. Soon, I met a man who swept me off my feet, much to the fear of my mother. It didn't take long for us to completely fall for one another. And pretty soon, my SUV turned back into a vessel to get me from one place to another and set up a place of residency. And I was officially housed in a tiny one-bedroom cottage in my dream city with a surfer man that I barely knew. While this seemed by all accounts like a terrible idea, it was actually probably the best thing that could have happened to me. When I met Christian, the strange and mysterious man, he felt unfamiliar, chipper, dare I say an optimist. And here I was, someone who was a frequent traveler of the worst parts of my mind, and I could barely understand how someone managed to stay so positive in a world that felt so dark to me. Over time, he began to rub off on me. His positive nature and ability to see the bright side in things began to wear down at my overly aware, over-realist viewpoints. Or at least I saw them as over-realist. I think most people would say pessimistic. And while we definitely have had moments where it feels like our differences are just too big to bridge, we've always ended up choosing each other. Until eventually, we began to grow and evolve into versions of ourselves that we liked better. Now, don't think that this is some crash course on how to have a perfect relationship. I would definitely never recommend moving in with someone that you just met, but we have somehow managed to not only make it work, but also be around one another most of the day and not strangle each other. Usually. And while I originally wanted this to be a story of our home that we're leaving, I realized throughout this process that me and him are what make this a home. It's not really about the house or the neighborhood or the backyard or, whatever else it is about this place that makes me feel like, oh, there's so much charm. It's really us and our cat too. But without him, I would probably be back where I was in Illinois, just living in a place that's just four walls and feeling quite lonely. I never could have imagined all the ways that I would grow as a person and moving out here. It's pretty hard sometimes, but it always feels pretty worth it, and it feels like I'm becoming the person that I want to be. Becoming someone who's more confident, more self-assured, moving in a creative path, which I never thought I would do, and overall someone who most days isn't scared of life, who bravely is stepping into a new chapter that's unknown and somehow doing it without going completely insane. And Christian is a big reason that I've changed so much. So how blessed am I to be able to say that I met somebody who is helping me become the version of myself that I really want to be. So yes, I've loved this house. I've loved our home here. But at the end of the day, this is just four walls. We're what give it meaning. So while I know that there's big changes up ahead, I also know that no matter where we go in life, we're always going to have that sense of home with us. That stability and security and thing that just makes you feel safe. And I'm pretty excited to see the ways that we're going to grow in this new chapter, both individually and together.